John, I can't hear anything. Reload. Can do that? Are you whipping me because I'm bad? Or I'm a horse? I know you guys are making fun of me and I can't hear it. It's hilarious. I wish I was in on the action. I'm gonna log out and log in. Hold on. Sean said here. Speaker. Got it. I got it. I figured it out. Thanks, Sean. Hello, jazz hands. Look, I'm Alec Martinez. I can make fun of. I'm a distant relative. No, I'm not.
Canada on the show, and I'm so sorry, Caryma. I didn't know you smoked pot.
It's all good. Now we're in the know.
Now
she actually looks stoned.
I can't see my face.
Do you have eyes?
Pardon me. Do I have eyes?
You're like this.
Wow. I didn't realize I was coming on here to be attacked.
You're not. He's just joking. What have you smoked cannabis today? That is a great question.
I am a wake and bake kind of person.
Do you get up in the morning and you roll a joint? Is that the deal? Is that your thing?
It depends on the morning, obviously, on what's on the agenda. So a lot of days now, like I'm just doing my own day and having to do writing or applications. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you smoke 2 joints in the morning and you smoke 2 joints at night. Smoke 2 joints in the afternoon. Makes you feel all right.
You see, I didn't know that. I've never understood people that could do that. Like I'm a cannabis user, like a medicinal cannabis user for sleep and for anxiety. From time to time, not so much with the anxiety anymore. I seem to have been able to boot that, but the sleep part, I love it. Like there is nothing better. And I've said this to so many different fucking people. Hey, Darrin Pfeiffer's got his CBD right there. We're all cannabis users, to some extent, all of us in some fucking variety. So it's nice that we finally had the conversation. We had an entire podcast where no one even talked about it. Get the head of normal on the podcast. How did we do that? How do we pretend not to be our fucking selves? That's the question I have to start today.
Wow, Dean, you're going deep early.
Yeah, man. And there's always room to break the stigma, I guess, even our own chains and cages, right?
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Not a wake and baker though.
It really depends on the person though, Dean, I think some people get stoned and they're just unproductive and lazy. Other people I know that get stoned all day, like Darren from the Salads, Darren Dumas from the Salads is a wake and baker.
Yep.
He's highly productive with art and writing and work and music.
Carpentry.
TS, my co-host on my show, is a wake and baker. He's extremely functional. It's just a mess. It's the same with alcohol. Like some people drink and they're just a mess. Other people drink and they can function.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is, I guess.
I'm the latter.
Or is it a tolerance thing? Maybe too, right? For a lot of different people, because
I probably that, yeah.
More of a Caryma's like, it's fucking tolerance, man. That's what it is. I get it. My tolerance is up. Do you find that you're still productive?
Me?
No, Caryma. You don't wake.
Oh, for me, for sure. Again, it depends on the tasks at hand, right? But I think that, maybe you're less self-critical, so it's easier to get that first draft out or what have you. So that's the effect it has on me.
So what's your preferred method? Do you smoke? Do you hit the bong? Do you smash dabs? Do you have edibles? Do you like gummies, chocolates?
The window, Dean.
Will you
Dean knows what's going on.
I'm not done dropping it like it's hot. Do you blow cones? Do you?
I don't even know what that means.
Blow cones. Do you roll big bats? Joints. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's cool lingo that I was not aware of.
It's from the 90s.
Yeah, no, we were talking about this before. I'm not like into the whole apparatus of dabs where you need like a flamethrower and your toolkit and like unwrap all of that. Like that's not me. So I like joints, but my preferred method is edibles. So that's legalization 2.0 is
big time. Yeah.
Don't you find it takes a little too long to kick in?
No, I like that surprise, and then just suddenly you're like, why am I happy? And that's why.
Oh, wow. Like you're working on a document and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stoked right now. out of nowhere.
Like you're like, oh, I feel pleasant and this is nice. And then you're in the flow, right? It's a good enhancer for your flow.
Yeah, you know what I find? I'm like Caryma. I love the edibles when you're sitting there and you can't remember how long it was you had one and you're kind of wondering when it's going to take shape and you're banging away and working at something and you get up to go get a coffee and you're like, there you are. There you are, you high you. There you are. You got me. You got me, little. Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Wraps around you like a blanket.
Yeah. And that's the fun part. That and a couple of melatonin and you won't. I'm 10 toes up for like 8 straight hours. Like that's and how much better is that than taking sleeping pills? Do you know what I mean? You talk to anybody that has problems sleeping if they've got narcolepsy, and I've got a brother that's been on some of the most heavy fucking heinous sleeping medication that I've ever heard anybody take. Like the kind of stuff that knocks a horse out generally is the kind of stuff that he would take because he had migraines and he's on stuff for that. And I've been begging him for like years, dude, you've got to get into the melatonin and the cannabis. You got to smoke a bowl at night. And he's a pastor and he loves Jesus. So he's like, I got a problem with smoking the bowl. I'm like, dude, Jesus probably smoked pot. He was like super righteous. I'm convinced he did as well. But yeah, it's such a different conversation now when you sit and talk about it with different people to do it. And then I was sad because we had you on for like an hour on the last podcast and didn't even address that you were the head of Normal, which is a massive advocacy group. So got to talk to you about that at some point too.
We will for sure. Visit us at normalcanada.org.
Yeah, at normalcanada.org. Yes, Darren, what were you
have problems sleeping, Dina. I don't smoke weed. I just shoot heroin and I'm out.
No, I start blowing guys at the bus stop when I do heroin.
Interesting side effect.
For more
most
heroin.
People fall asleep. Most people sit on the couch. Most people lay on the floor. You go to the bus
down
stop.
to the Greyhound station and give blowjobs for money. Yeah, I just can't do it.
Glory hole guy.
That's my association with it because I watch Train Spotting. So I'm like, I don't think I can do any of this stuff. I'm not interested in any of this stuff.
You have the money to afford, so you don't have to go down there and do that.
Yeah, that's true. But once you start doing it, you don't. That's the other thing about cannabis. It's like super cheap. You can grow 4 plants in your backyard. Any idiot can do it. And you can relieve your pain and your anxiety if you Yeah, in Canada you can. In Canada you can grow 4 plants in your backyard right now, and the cops are like, "Yeah, those look great. Good job. That's awesome." As a matter of fact,
that's my point. It's like warm 1 month a year there.
Yeah, but you can still get a good couple pounds out in your backyard. I think I'm almost positive you can.
Unless you got some hydroponics going on.
Do you grow your own, Caryma?
I don't. No, I don't.
Anyway,
I'm not nurturing enough. I don't
know. Me neither. That's why I just get stuff. But thanks for doing this. And I wanted to thank everybody for joining us. Thanks again to the folks at Blue Microphones, Owners Box Fantasy Sports, and Ed's Fine Imports for making this whole thing possible. Welcome to the program. Sorry, it was a weird start. But I wanted to talk to you guys because COVID, specifically this weekend, we've got a few things to get to, including the Bills, who are unbelievable, and Josh Allen, who I have to talk about today. I've never wanted to talk about an NFL quarterback as much as I want to talk about Josh Allen. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But I wanted to talk about this COVID thing because have you guys been following the flying in of these vaccines? Have you been following like every single city that's in country and province where they're like, you know, a plane and they're rolling off these crates? You're like, guess what's in the crate? I'm like, the vaccine.
Bingo chips.
But have you guys been following this whole thing? Are they making too much of this? I love it. I think it's great. It's like last time we were this excited is when Kawhi almost stayed.
Yeah, the only problem with this is they're saying it's going to take several months for the normal people to get the shot. You know, you got nurses and doctors and firemen and policemen, first responders, and then you got the elderly and you got the people that are susceptible, diabetics, etc. So by the time it gets to phase 3 or 4,
right,
it'll be like March, April.
Oh, in the States, but in Canada, they're saying it's like it's later than that. It's like
you might not get it until 2025.
No, they're saying it's later than that. Like they're end of the summer, beginning of the summer. They're saying mid to beginning of summer is when we're probably going to be getting a like normal people vaccine. And it was funny because I was laughing the other day. They were talking about the list of infirmities that you had to have. You know, if you had heart disease, if you had cancer, if you're undergoing chemo treatment, like outside of healthcare and all those people that are in healthcare that are getting it, they were listing off all these different things. And it was like, if you got this wrong with you, if you're this fucked up, if you're going to die because of this anyway, you know, and you'll get it first. And I'm like, I've never wanted to be so sick so bad. It was the only time I was like, fuck, I would love to have an underlying condition. I'd love to have, because I don't think high cholesterol counts, does it? I think my cholesterol is a little high, but I don't think like I can walk in to the front of the queue and go, hey, my LDL is a little high, so can I get the shot, please?
Also, being a dick, you got that pre-existing condition too, but that doesn't count. We're all dicks.
But it started me thinking because there's this massive swath of anti-vaxxers, and I started texting Kareem about it. Was it last night? I think it was last night, wasn't it? Yeah, yesterday afternoon, just about these anti-vaxxers and the legal position that we have. Because in my mind, like we've gone through some of the biggest, most life-changing civics lessons in the history of humanity in the past like 5 to 10 years, right? The Trump thing, racism being cool for a while. You know, it's weird. And then of course the pandemic and the plague, you know, and now we're at this point, and I really think, and Caryma, I would love your thoughts on this because legally it's legally speaking, this is one of the things that I think is going to be a massive touch point, like a massive fucking flashpoint for us. It's anti-vaxxer versus normal person. Anti-vaxxer versus someone with a fucking brain. Because what's going to happen is people's restricted lifestyles are going to become, if you're an anti-vaxxer, impossible to live. They're going to become so restricted if you don't believe in getting this fucking vaccine that you won't be able to send your kids to school after this. You're not going to be able to shop after this. And if you think they were pissed when they couldn't get barbecue from that guy down the street a month ago, my opinion, Caryma, and I could be wrong, is I think we're going to see some craziness.
Well, I think that there's going to be tension and conflict, and there's going to be litigation. And already there is like a case that's been filed by a pretty well-known constitutional lawyer, actually, Raghu Gulati, and part of his case refers to the vaccine and microchips. So there's, you know, it's already happening. Like that's
in Canada.
Yes, it's in Canada.
What's the guy's name? Rocco Galati? Is that?
Yeah, he's a very like well-known and very like sharp-minded constitutional lawyer, and he is the face of this case. So it's, you know,
and he thinks there's a microchip in the vaccine. Is that what he's telling people?
It was a very long statement of claim. I actually didn't read all like 200 and something pages of it, which by the way, like regularly a statement of claim is like 20 pages. So like it was a very bizarre episode in the season of 2020, which has been weird and is wrapping up, as you say, with these planes and vaccines dropping everywhere. But I mean, yeah, like on the point of anti-vaxxers versus everyone. Yeah, the flashpoints probably are going to be schools and other institutions where like the government has a hand in ensuring public safety, and there's an interest in requiring inoculation, but that's balanced against people's freedom of religion, freedom of conscience, right to sort of security of the person, right, without undue interference. So those are the rights that are confronting one another if and when, you know, the question of mandatory vaccination comes up. But to your earlier point, you know, it's not going to be available to the regular public until a certain date anyway, and then, you know, time will unfold as this litigation unfolds, is my guess.
So because my theory is that what we're going to see is the holdouts, like, you know, a few thousand, maybe 100,000, 200,000 holdouts in cities and communities across Canada that don't believe in science, that don't believe in technology, also don't give a shit. I almost said the F word, almost, but I didn't. There you go. But that don't give a rat's ass about anybody else other than their religious beliefs, because it's a matter of life or death for them, eternal life or death. That's the problem we're dealing with. It's most of the anti-vaxxers are hyper religious, and they're worried that if they take the vaccine, God's not going to let them into heaven. That's the honest to God truth. That's what we're dealing with here. Or you're dealing with someone who's just really, 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 really stupid. My point is this, is that I want to know now, and I think everybody wants to know now, what the right of the vaxxer is in those situations, or the business that doesn't want to allow someone in who hasn't been inoculated. Because what they're going to start doing, and I don't even know, is this fucking legal to do a proof of vaccination card or some kind of proof that you've been vaccinated? Because that's what I'm understanding. Christine Elliott, who's the health minister the other day, said that you're going to need this certificate or something that we're going to come up with, proof of certification that you have been vaccinated, or else you can't go to the fucking movies.
Yeah, what she was talking about, though, is not like rooted in any sort of legislation that I've read or heard proposed, and I can't really imagine a scene where sort of the government is forcibly vaccinating people. I think it's going to be
I'm talking about the holdouts, Caryma. I'm talking about the people that refused vaccination, that now want to go into fucking McDonald's, and they can't because they weren't vaccinated, you know, and they don't have the proof that they were vaccinated. So like, that's a human rights conundrum in my mind. Like
it is.
Not really, Dina. In LA, sorry to cut you off, but in LA, there's a big movement. There's a big story on the news for the last couple of days about this. And you can let me know if I'm wrong on this. It really falls down to every business has the right to refuse service to anybody. And masks was the first wave of that. You're not wearing a mask, can't come in. Sorry, it's our own policy.
Right.
You can't come into the restaurant, you can't come into the bar, you can't come into the grocery store. It's a new thing. Well, the card that says you've been vaccinated versus not having the card that says you weren't vaccinated it falls under the same umbrella, the same legal umbrella. A business like a grocery store can go, you haven't been vaccinated, and we got our own personal law that protects us. We've reserved the right to refuse service to anybody.
Wrong.
For any reason. No.
Wrong.
Maybe in Canada, maybe in Ontario, but in America, you have the right to say no to anybody for any reason.
I think that is true in the States, and I think that in Canada, the question is whether or not there's a human rights protected ground that is connected to someone's refusal to vaccinate. Because if they say that, yes, it's my human right, then it's a balancing of that individual's right versus sort of questions of herd immunity and sort of the effectiveness of the vaccine if not enough people are taking it. And yeah, I don't know, like that gets resolved in theory through the court, because the holdouts, the question is, are they going to be, you know, banned access from certain services, or
yes,
and
well, not essential services. Like if you don't get a vaccine, you don't get the little card, you can still go to a grocery store. You can go to Dominion and get your food because you
not in Canada. No, not in Canada. See, that's the thing. Not in Canada.
Stop someone from, as long as they're wearing a mask like they are for the last several months, you can go and get your food and leave.
Oh, now, yeah. I'm talking about past the point of resolution. So when we get to the point where we reach herd immunity, right? There's going to be, which is once, I think it's like between 60 and 80% of the general population has to get to a point of herd immunity. And I'm not saying the anti-vaxxer thing is going to happen now. I'm saying it is coming from like, think of it in terms of like, watching, your dog run away from you on the prairies. You can watch it for fucking miles and miles and miles, but you can also see it coming. And when it gets there, it's going to be fucking great big, because once we reach herd immunity, my understanding is if you do not, and it's not being talked in Ontario, this is going to be the case. I'm dealing with Ontario. But in Ontario, if you do not have proof of vaccination, you will not be allowed inside a fucking business. You won't be allowed. You have to have this thing. And so, and I agree with it. That's the other thing, is that no one's paying me for my opinion. People pay me to put fun shit up and give them a break from their day, talk to them about normal shit, make sure that you do the responsible thing, go get vaccinated. It's not a hoax. This is fucking real. But my point is that this is going to be one of those things that is going to change the way we live. It already has. It already has.
It's coming to your
point.
I would
be surprised if they went that far, because I mean, the way it is in schools right now, right? If it's, you don't have a medical exemption, you can still get in without immunization.
Which is stupid to me.
If you declare it.
Which is ridiculous to me. Like, that's the other. And so what are the resolutions or what are the regulations on right now if you're not immunized, if you're not vaccinated, if you don't have the same vaccination schedule as all Canadians up to this point, which, by the way, they've been vaccinating people in Canada since 1778. A guy named Albert Connors was the very first person to realize cowpox cured smallpox. He proved it, was allowed to do it to a couple people in the community. That's how we got the smallpox vaccine. Jonas Salk invented the polio vaccine in the year 1942, I believe. That thing ran rampant for 20 years while they tried to figure this out. That's why you saw all the iron lungs. It almost killed people. It was a world revolution. Measles, mumps, rubella, same thing. Everybody has to have these shots. You've had them. I've had them. Every anti-vaxxer has had them, which is fucking incredible to me, because they wouldn't even be here if they weren't vaccinated. They would all be dead. But somehow they've evolved into this perspective of, I don't want to get vaccinated. So I want to know, what is the rule? What is the, like you say, it's a religious exemption or a medical exemption, but I don't see a medical exemption that would say he can't have or she can't have this vaccine unless it causes an inherent problem with any malady they might have, right? So we're really down to religious exemption, which is absolute fucking bullshit.
And I mean, religious is short form as well for freedom of conscience, right? So that notion of sort of free thought, because it might not be tied to an actual religion, but that's I think the battle that will be born in the courts, right? Mm-hmm. Someone's going to be upset that their kid can't get enrolled, or that they're denied access to the community center swimming pool, or whatever the facts of that particular case are, and then this huge constitutional question will be litigated on that basis. And like,
go ahead.
By the way, on a side note, I'm amazed that Canada has a constitution.
Many parts, and some of it's not even in writing. So
we don't. We actually didn't need to get as detailed because we're smarter than you guys. So we didn't need all the details, like the handrails and all the little bit of writing. Oh, you got to read the fine print for the Americans.
Also, Caryma, you coined a great term earlier, and you didn't even know it.
Did I?
The face of the case.
She's awesome.
The face.
There you go.
Doesn't even know it.
That's awesome.
So basically the religious. So if we really boil it down, if we really kind of take all the fucking bullets out of the gun for the anti-vaxxer, it really comes down to they just don't wanna. Like, that's what you're saying. Because religious freedom, if it's a vote of confidence for your conscience, and that's really how it's defined by law, then what you're saying is their conscience is their will to do or not do whatever it is that they're going to decide to do when they get vaccinated, and they decided not to get fucking vaccinated. So what you're saying is anti-vaxxers are just anti-assholes. They're just
that moral objection is so strong that it overrides other public health considerations in their perspective, and so that's what will be decided.
Question for the panel.
Like, you're gonna have to choose. I mean, there was like a community, you know, in Alberta, and the question was whether or not they could take photographs, and a photograph was required for a driver's license past a certain point in time, and ultimately the Supreme Court said, well, it's a privilege to drive, even though practically speaking, driving, you know, means a lot of, like, that's how one sustains one economy, right?
Yeah.
At least in Alberta, where you have to travel to communities and whatever. So driving was deemed to be a privilege. So when this is fought out in the courts, if there is any such requirement that's imposed, which already, like, I don't know how that would roll out. But if it happens, it'll be decided kind of, is that service essential enough that the government actually can ban someone, yes or no? Right. And so with schools, the compromise right now is the parent has to go through a particular program and, you know, declare that that's their exemption. But is it going to be different for COVID? We don't know yet, and it's too soon to know.
I would think it would be. I would like it to be, just because of what we're living through right now. I don't want to fucking do this again. I don't know anybody else who wants to do this again. Right. So I would think that. So here's a question then. If there are parents in a school, let's say there's 30 kids in a class, one idiot anti-vaxxer brings their poor little anti-vaxxed kid who's been forced into the cult, and like 30 other parents go, we don't want our kid to go to school with that kid. Can they force that kid out of the school in Ontario?
I don't know. I don't know.
I can tell you, I know that Nova Scotia and Ontario mandated, like, those are the only two provinces in Canada, from my understanding, where if your child is not vaccinated, they cannot come to school.
You have to look at the anti-vaxxer guys too, like the person or the parents that, first of all, hand this down to their children, but also the mindset of the anti-vaxxer. They don't want the government knowing where they are at every minute. Hold on a second. So there's a mental bar in your brain, Dean, that's high. The anti-vaxxer bar is usually somewhere right around here,
around the genital region. Yeah.
They're like, I don't want the government knowing where I am.
Can I read you guys something?
Is it a bedtime story?
I want to read you a sad our comment section is fire. If you haven't been at our comment section at deanblundell.com, I get called every name in the book. I get told to die daily. But these comments make me happy. I don't know why they do. I probably shouldn't be this jacked up over people's absolute lunacy, but I get excited. These are comments that I get, and I put them out, and I perpetuate these comments, and I send them out to people. They're all anti-vaxxers that are sending me texts, by the way. And then they get beat up a little bit in the comment section, and they go away. But I want you to read. This is from someone who's not getting vaccinated. Now, you tell me if you want to follow this person down the road of science. You tell me if you want to follow this person down that road of epidemiology expertise. You tell me if these people that I'm going to read you their comments from, who are telling me not to get vaccinated and calling me names and telling me I'm sheeple. I'm just one of the sheeple. Yeah, you fucking sheeple. Tell me if these are the people that we should be listening to. Here we go. Dean, you can't admit you're a huge mistake.
He's got a point there.
You really are the same old guy that you used to always talk about, guzzling a bottle, throwing away your wife. You threw away your family and your job. You repeated your same mistakes in life, and look at you now. I really thought you grew up, but your zebra stripes can't change. You're desperate, I guess. Your propaganda about this virus is fake news. Stop listening to our media, politicians, and federally appointed people. Stop listening to the experts. You're smarter than this. Get your shit together. What do you think?
There's some nuggets.
You want to follow that guy down to the clinic?
At least he, like, it's a message of inspiration at the end there.
Get your shit together, man.
It really is. We
he believes in you. That you will get.
Yeah. going to come down to businesses that eventually start to open, like movie theaters, malls, restaurants and bars, and the stuff that we all really, 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 really miss. They're just going to say, you can't come in. I'm sorry. We have every right in the motherfucking world to refuse service to anybody for any reason. It's on the books. It's been on the books for forever. And you can get mad all you want. You can call a lawyer. You can sue, but you're going to lose. And no lawyer is going to take the case because you have the right to refuse service. No shirt, no shoes, no service, right? You can't go into a bar or restaurant without a shirt on or shoes on. Same situation. So these anti-vaxxers, you don't want to get vaccinated? Totally cool. We get it. But good luck trying to integrate back into society.
You're never going to have dinner again in public.
They'll probably find a lawyer to take the case, though, I will say.
Yeah, of course they will.
Find a lawyer to take
Trump found a lawyer. Trump found Giuliani, and
guys,
the rest is history.
Guys, I have another one I'd like to read to you that's equally as awesome.
These are great. I love these.
So, Dino, I want to say, first of all, I followed you for years. I've been entertained by you. I've trusted your opinions. I agreed with them. And currently, I think you're just another dumb dick getting paid by big media.
Are you getting paid by big media?
No, we're a completely independent news outlet, media outlet. We're just basically we're not even a media outlet. I think it's great this guy considers us a media outlet. We're a fucking blog. It's a blog. We're not a media outlet. I'm a trusted source because I don't lie. I think that's why people like us and why we have 30 podcasts and 10 million users. But we're not a media source.
But you are a dumb dick.
And I'm not a journalist. Okay? I've trusted your opinions. My old friend, he says, you're not listening or learning from science.
Wow.
Yeah. I love this. I only watch now to watch you go down the toilet bowl. Once this becomes clear for everyone, you'll be ashamed of spreading the COVID fear factor. You're a grown-ass man. You must own a calculator. Do the math, bro. Ignore your real facts and numbers and spread fear and propaganda. You've been presented with too many facts from scientists, health epidemiologists, experts, researchers. You should just delete your account because your pussy's too sore. Pay attention, he says. This is my favorite part out of all the other stuff, even though he insinuated I had a vagina. He goes, No, this is the best. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a computer programmer, but my wife has a PhD in science.
That was like a contradiction tennis match. That whole thing.
There's a lot of detours in that. I don't know.
I don't know what to start.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, that was like a smidgen of the actual comment from this lunatic, because I was like, I can't read the rest of it. I'm not even going to bother. I just cut out the really fun part. But these are the people, and this is my point. And if you're watching this, I hope you listen to me. Every single anti-vaxxer has a degree in nothing. This guy's telling me not to get vaccinated because his wife likes science and he plays on computers. The other guy, I don't even fucking know what the other guy wanted. I can't remember what the other guy. Oh, yeah.
On a sidebar, Dean, I'm amazed that you generate so much hate.
And you know what? All I've been doing, and this is the crazy part, Caryma, this is why I know it's going to be crazy. This is why I know the world's going to go nuts over this whole thing. Is because all I've been doing is telling people, hey guys, pay attention to the facts. Science is real threat. Go get vaccinated. And then I get one of these. You used to be an alcoholic and your wife left you. And you're good. So I have to correct them because none of that stuff was actually true either. And it's the vitriol and the stupidity. But you know what? I guess if that's your bag. And then another one, I had someone the other day said to me that, listen, I'm not getting the vaccine because I don't know that I trust it. This person's a hockey instructor. And I'm like, what do you say? See you later. I mean, because and here's the other thing. I will never, ever, ever hang out with someone who hasn't had the shot. And I'm serious. Once we get past herd immunity, I'm not letting someone in my house who hasn't been immunized. I'm not working with someone in case in point, which we will be hopefully in the new year, moving into new digs once this whole thing spans out. I'm not going to allow someone to work with us who hasn't been vaccinated. I won't. And will it end relationships? I guess. But I'm not going to be around someone that doesn't believe in fucking science. It's not about me feeling intimidated by being in danger of someone maybe giving me COVID-19. That's not it. I can't be around someone that seems to think they know more than Anthony Fauci when they work at Stanley Steamer.
Where did you come up with Stanley Steamer? That's gold. Could have been McDonald's or Burger King. Or you went to Stanley Steamer.
I'm not going to take my medical directions. Sorry, from Shelly at Supercuts and her Facebook account.
Don't you take a dig on Supercuts. They do good work.
But that's Caryma. Sorry, I didn't mean to waste your time with all that. That's who is largely perpetuating this. So thanks for.
By the way, if I lived in Ontario, I'd be hiring Caryma a lot. Not only because she's smart and knows what she's doing, but she's wearing a leather fucking jacket. She's cool as shit.
Dude, have you seen her art? Have you seen her art? You haven't seen her illustrations?
She had me a leather jacket.
Oh, dude, you got to bring. What's the name of your website, Caryma? We got to put it up here. What's the name of it?
Caryma Rules.
Okay, you got to look it up real quick. Caryma Rules. You got it. This chick is it. Sorry for calling you a chick if you don't like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I fell in love with her creativity and how smart she was on Twitter, because she was like hammering that Adam Skelly guy like over and over and over again. I'm like, that's a kindred spirit. And to the point where she actually created this unbelievable professional cartoon artwork. What do you call it?
What do I call what?
Well, is it artwork, cartoons? Like
yeah, they're comics. So I mean, yeah, like don't jack me too much. I'm not the illustrator, but I conceptualize and like all of the details that
this is good stuff
that you see in these.
Isn't it incredible?
Really great.
And it's a picture's worth 1,000 words, so I can do that in a tweet and then feel like I've accomplished something, right?
Wow.
It's like a Coles note. It's what you're doing. All you're doing is cheating.
Well, I put it together. I put the website together, and it was like a summary of 2020. It was a bunch of weird shit this year.
Oh, and it's unbelievable. Like this one of Adam Skelly, My Precious. Can you click on that one and show people that? My Precious. This is exactly what I think of the guy. When I see him in my head, I think of this barbecuing on guy, Adam Skelly, basically just sitting there watching the ticker on that GoFundMe account go north, because that was his entire thing. That's my opinion. And so Caryma never said any of that, but she definitely insinuated it in the cartoon.
Thank you. Incidentally, they tried to buy one of the comics, but we couldn't agree on a price.
Which one? And that's Adam Skelly again there?
Barbecue or Death.
Barbecue or Death.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one. That was the one that I think that appeared in some other publications. Did it not?
Yeah, because he shared this on his Instagram story.
That's awesome.
But he put over it instead. It said, "We are not closing" or something. So he wrote over my caption, which
it's illegal.
I could have sent him a cease and desist, but I did not.
Why didn't you? I would have done it just for fun. Schadenfreude. Why didn't you?
I'm not a litigious person, so
you're a lawyer.
I'm a lover, not a hater. Most of my things.
Great website, Caryma. Really beautiful stuff. Well done. And also, your little avatar in the top left corner looks stoned as well.
Yeah, a little bit. I gotta say, I don't disagree with Darren on that.
Robert De Niro, a little bit.
Neither confirm nor deny.
Sadvocacy.com is the name of Caryma's website. If you want to get a hold of her, she is a A+ lawyer. She helps anybody in the cannabis industry who's experiencing issues, cannabis related fines. That's one of the goals that this woman had. Steve, what did I tell you? How cool is this woman? You know what she does? Her biggest thing is like helping people get off cannabis related offenses now that everything's legal. It's incredible. Awesome.
Thank you. It's just that felt like the right thing to be doing.
Well, it's coming in America too.
A lot of housing. That's my main focus. I do housing.
Yeah. Like the stuff that matters.
It all matters. Thank you for that outro, and
you're welcome.
Enjoy your football talk.
We will. Are we allowed to use any of your art?
Yeah, sure. You can feel free to link.
Yes. And I'll talk to you in a couple hours. We got another call in an hour or so. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Take care. Thank you.
Caryma Saad at sadvocacy.com. How cool is she? I like having her around. She's fun.
She's badass, yeah.
Yeah, she's super cool. She gets up in the morning, smokes a huge bowl, and goes and does law.
Yeah.
How great is that?
She goes to the high court.
Hey, dude, how are you feeling today? Because I watched that entire Bills game last night, and I was like thinking of you, thinking of the boys at Owner's Box. Thinking of the guys at Trainwreck Sports in your hometown of Buffalo, who I know who do a great job down there. Thinking of my buddy Dwayne Steinell. I was thinking of like, can I be truthful? I was literally thinking of 30 years of not having a quarterback since Jim Kelly hung him up, since the run of four in a no. Sorry, four in a no.
Thank you for the memory.
Four in a no. Wide right. The two Cowboys crushing Cowboys loss.
Thanks. Keep digging, Dean.
Sorry, I can't help it. I watched them all. But listen. I'm a massive Bills fan. Like, I love the Bills to the point where I was going to switch my allegiance this year to the Saints because of the boys at Boot Crew. And something just told me, don't do it. Don't do it. You can't give up on the Bills because Josh Allen. And then, and the way the season ended last year, I had no idea the team would be this good, 10-3. They won again last night. They beat the Steelers. They hadn't beat the Steelers in something like, and I could be wrong, but it's close, something like 180 years. They 2 games atop their division, the AFC East, which hasn't happened since 1995. They haven't won a division championship since 1995.
Well, there's this big storm we had named Brady hurricane that came in for a little while and caused a lot of ruckus in the division and the whole league for that matter. But now that storm has passed and brighter days ahead. You mentioned Jim Kelly to today, and I would interject with a little V with Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie had
not like this. Not like this. Not like this. This guy's incredible. Josh Allen. Did you watch him yesterday just materialize that win just by virtue of his new football IQ, which was terrible last year? He got sometimes he would just have these brain farts. You've seen it in a couple games this year where like he'll disappear for a quarter or throw the ball to the other guy on purpose, or it looks like it, but he hasn't. No brain farts in this last little spell. And he is surgically picking teams apart between him, Stephon Diggs, their secondary, which was terrific yesterday, by the way. The defensively to get him on the board early in that game was huge for them. Huge. But Josh Allen, this is like, it's almost like I know how the people in Kansas City feel with Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like you got something that good. And I'm really...
it's only going to get better. And you mentioned Diggs. He was a huge part of that football game yesterday. Yeah. They targeted him a lot. And he came up with a lot of great RACs. And our special teams played well. Our defense is on point and healthy. Our running back, Singletary is not doing... not blowing up the league, but really no running back besides.
No, Henry. But he's solid. Moss was great yesterday too. He got some really impressive first downs for the team, and was used in the third quarter. I thought he was great. But listen, I'm not done blowing the people of Buffalo. I want to say this one thing.
Okay, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to say this one thing. Buffalo, if you're listening to me, beautiful people of Buffalo, my Buffalonians, I know I shit on you for a good 20 years, and I'm sorry. You deserved it though. But now
there's good reason to, Dean.
I'm talking to Buffalo right now.
Okay. Sorry.
But I want to say something to you today, Buffalo, my Buffalonian friends. Buffalo, the city of neighborly friendship. What is it? City of love?
City of brotherly love.
That's Philly.
No, wait, that's Philadelphia. City of good neighbors. Sorry.
The Big Apple, Buffalo.
City of good neighbors.
I do want to say this. I'm so fucking happy you have something nice. That's like, it's not just nice for a second. It's not questionably nice. It's not like nice. Oh my God, I hope it stays nice. Oh my God. It's like, holy fuck, this is going to be nice for a long time. The way the team is built and how young this kid is at 24, the way they are punching teams in the face. Buffalo, little small town Buffalo, the pride of that city, because no fans, and I don't care. I'm almost convinced of it. I think the city of Buffalo is the best fans. They got nothing to cheer for. And they don't stop cheering. And so now that they have something nice, now that you have something nice, Darren, I'm really, really fucking happy for you. I really am. I really am. I just want to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It's really nice to see the growth. Like you mentioned this earlier in your Bills rant, growth. He's growing from when he first got into the league, came from Wyoming, first got in the league, and now he's getting better. But that's also, and you didn't touch on this, that's coaching. McDermott is becoming a great coach right in front of our eyes, and no one's talking about it. He made adjustments in the second half on a team-wide level, defense, offense, special teams. And Josh Allen was the big recipient of that. Like they didn't, picking up blitzes when they were coming in, finding gaps in zone coverage in the Steelers secondary. And then of course Josh Allen took that to heart and said, "Okay, coach, I believe you. I'm all in. Let's do this." And he had a second half for the ages.
Yeah.
First half he had no touchdowns and a pick. Second half, no picks, 2 touchdowns, and a whole whack of yards. This man is progressing right in front of our eyes, as is the coaching staff, McDermott and all of his guys and gals. The whole team is progressing very, very nicely. They're not at Kansas City level. They're just otherworldly.
Kansas City. I watched that game on Sunday too, dude. I watched the Kansas City game on Sunday, and what I watched was Kansas City do whatever the fuck they wanted and win that game by as much as they wanted, even with 4 turnovers and 3 interceptions from Patrick Mahomes. You can't beat them. You can't. They're too fast. They're too big. They're too good defensively. But I don't care about Kansas City. I've been to Kansas City once. Great barbecue.
The road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Kansas City.
I know that, but I put Josh Allen on par with Patrick Mahomes. It sounds stupid because I had this fucking fight with the guys on Owner's Box on Twitter today.
I think he's in the ballpark.
Dude, I think he's there. I think it's Aaron Rodgers, the way that Aaron Rodgers is playing, and I got to give them credit. But I think he's that good. But I'm just happy for Buffalo. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into like Josh Allen's undrafted drafted reputation of being a shitty team player, crappy quarterback, shitty team in Wyoming. I don't want to talk about his first 2 years, but I did have to wait and see if he was for real. And he's for real. He's fucking unbelievable to watch.
They won some games this year that they probably shouldn't have won on paper. Pittsburgh, they should have lost on paper. Seattle, they should have lost, although Seattle did cough up 4 interceptions. Russell Wilson wasn't playing very great. And I do think that if Kansas City was playing the Buffalo Bills,
yep,
Mahomes coughed up the ball 3 times and the team 4, we would have won that game. Because that's what happened in Seattle.
Yep.
They coughed up and we scored.
I haven't seen the Bills, and that's a good point because I haven't seen the Bills in a game where they're getting blown out or they're not a factor in the game, and they're winning games handily.
Yeah, we
really it's like that feeling, same feeling I get when I watch Kansas City go down 10. I'm like, they're gonna win. Won't matter in the end.
What coulda, shoulda, woulda, but 11. We should be 11-2. That Arizona loss was grabbed from us.
Yeah, it was
violently.
That's awesome.
It was not awesome, Dean.
You know, and that's why. But hold it. That's why I was fucking great. DeAndre Hopkins
for a sports story.
Over
yes,
3 guys.
You see what he did?
I was like, no way. And just because like no team loses like the Bills, but maybe the whole narrative changes with Josh Allen. Maybe he becomes like goes on a 20-year run like Tom Brady did, and maybe McDermott turns into the new Belichick, only not as grumpy and fat. And maybe those guys have this working relationship that's magic over, and maybe Buffalo becomes a city where. Can you imagine? Like, think about this. That's how good this guy is that I'm talking about this. Maybe Buffalo becomes a city where you win 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Super Bowls in the next 20 years. Maybe it's a perennial parade down Tonawanda, Cheektowaga Avenue.
Tonawanda Street.
Whatever.
Lackawanna Street. Cheektowaga Street.
Maybe you'll dodge the slums and head around to and it'll all get rebuilt and the whole city turns into this magic kingdom of football players and studs thanks to Josh Allen. Maybe Josh Allen's gonna be the greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
Wow, maybe. You're just lofting praise.
I'm just saying.
Just shoveling it.
I want something nice for Buffalo. Like I want the Sabres to be good this year. Like I've traditionally hated the Sabres. Now I want the Sabres to do well this year. I want to see Buffalo
got the pieces. They got Eichel and Skinner and Hall and Stahl, and we got some pieces. There, we should, on paper, be good.
We'll see. Speaking of which, the people of Buffalo, pretty sure that this guy is from Buffalo. Did you see the hullabaloo on a Alaskan air flight? Have you seen this viral video going around of this guy in Vegas? Have you been to Vegas? You've been to Vegas like 100 times, probably.
1,000 times.
1,000 times. So this shit happens. Guy gets on an Air Alaska flight. This video killed me. And it didn't kill me because, there's a guy on the wing of a plane. And we're going to end the podcast with this. But this guy jumps on the wing of the plane, and he is so fucked up from his week in Vegas. Some news just came out today. His name is Carl. This guy's name is Carl. He was just finishing his weekend bachelor party, and he apparently did every drug imaginable, drank everything everyone gave me. I'm sorry that happened. That was Carl. He apologized. So I feel bad for the guy because he woke up with a concussion, and this morning, after that apology, he's also got a cracked skull. And I'm going to show you why. Go ahead and hit play on this video if you can for me. This is Carl, who climbed on at the end of a trip in Vegas, gonger for a week. We've all been there, right? Where you've been in Vegas for like a whole fucking week. And you're at the airport drinking again because you're so hungover. But this guy had like something else in him. Molly, meth. Oh, take the shoes off. Don't need those when you're climbing around on the wing of a fucking plane. And then he starts dry humping the wingtip. Hurts his wiener there, as you can see. Gets off. Now the other shoe comes off. Off goes the sock. Now he's jumping on the wing. The plane, by the way, is taxiing for takeoff. Now he's dry humping the wing, dry humping. Now the police move in, and he's going to make one more attempt here as he dry humps the wing, and he's starting to slide down and lose steam here, folks. This isn't good because it's a good 16-foot drop from the tip of the wing, which he is now trying to dry hump. Now here comes the cops. They're on the wing. He sees the cops, and boom. Oh! He falls head first, 16 feet off of his foot.
Did we have any kind of report of what he was charged with?
Mischief.
Criminal mischief, I guess.
Yeah. And he got charged with some aviation crimes. And he got charged with aviation crimes, which is funny because, like, you know, what happens when you get charged with an aviation crime? Oh, you're not allowed to
go to aviation court.
Yeah. Guy with a pilot's license. Can't go on Air Alaska anymore. Uh-oh. That's a bummer.
You know what? That guy's a legend. I'm sorry. That guy's a legend.
We've all been, dude. I remember. I love that guy. I think that that was one of those things where a guy says to him at the end of the trip, I'll give you all the money I won all week in Vegas if you climb out on the east side of the, because everybody said it. I want to be like, go climb out on the edge of that plane and go and dry hump the wing's tip, the part that sticks up. And he did. Carl went and dry humped the wing, the tip of the wing, dry humped the crap out of it. And then towards the end, just decided, okay, well, the cops are here. Forget it. I guess I need to cool it. But he fell 16 feet, cracked his skull, CTE, massive concussion. And he was charged with a bunch of different shit.
How did he get on the wing?
He climbed out the door. He opened the emergency exit.
Oh, he opened the emergency door.
Yeah.
And that's an F. What's it called? Federal FFA or
FAA violation. Yeah. You don't open. And here's the thing: the video, if you look at it, you can see all the way down the runway. Like he's on the wingtip. He's humping the shit out of it, and he's hiked his pants up. He's lost his shoes, and he's there drilling the wingtip, and you can see that all the way down the actual the runway. It's like they're taxiing. They're taking off.
The plane was turning to take off.
Yes, yeah, it's doing that little turn, and then watch. Oh, look at his head. Can you get him mid ground? I love this. Look at Sean's fucking with this video seriously, so you can just see like this guy fall off. Get him mid flight if you can.
Probably broke his foot. Yeah.
No, let's see how he lands. Go forward a little.
Lands on his feet.
Barely knee 16, but then his head. Right? No, it bounces. You got to go forward. There it goes, right off the pavement.
Oh, that is just fucking nuts.
He also had a couple broken ribs and a broken arm.
Well, he's a hero. I think he's a national hero.
That's our guy. That's our guy. Hey, that's our guy. That's it for me.
Legend. Thanks for having me on, Dean. Thanks for the Buffalo props. It feels good because there was a long time there on the show. Me and you would rip Buffalo to shreds.
Yeah. I
I got airtime on the Dee Blundell show. I was excited, but the only way I could do it was to rip my home city. So I did.
You had to talk about the worst parts of Buffalo. You're like, it's the worst. It's the shits.
The whole city.
Yeah, it was though. And by and large, probably still is. And to a Buffalonian, they'll tell you the same thing. Like our friend Dwayne Steinell, Dwayne from Buffalo, from Two Goalies, One Mic, one of our podcasts, great guy. He's like, yeah, it's the shittiest place in the whole world. And I love it. He's like, that's the charm of the whole thing.
Well, I don't know, but Windsor, Ontario is pretty bad.
I live there. I can tell you it is the anus of Canada. If Canada was shaped anatomically, Windsor would absolutely be the asshole of Canada, and that asshole would be of Greek origin. A lot of hair.
Amazing.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching the podcast with myself and Darren and Caryma. You can get Darren at Adobe Radio. How's the podcast, by the way? Who do you got on this week?
This week we got Greg Graffin from Bad Religion, Part 2.
Second part of the dude from Bad Religion. I'm in. Love the first part. How old is he? He doesn't sound old.
50. No, he's in his 50s. He's like 55.
Do you know what he sounds like? He sounds like I was listening to the podcast, and he sounds like the kind of guy you would want to just kind of hang out with all the time. Like he sounds
Big
like.
hockey guy.
What's that?
Big hockey guy. Teaches. He's got a PhD.
Yeah.
Teaches in Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
Super into hockey. Punk rocker, songwriter. Just a good dude. Solid dude.
I like it. I like your podcast. It's called the Dangerous Darren Podcast. You can get it at Adobe Radio. You can also get it pretty much anywhere you get your podcast, including DeanBlundell.com. We have a major announcement coming out next week too, by the way.
Oh, that's good tease.
We have big announcements here. Like sometimes we have like 10 of them in 3 days, and we're going to start towards Christmas, and just after Christmas, we're going to have a bunch of big announcements. So,
is it have to do with Sean being a hermaphrodite? So that's what I heard.
I don't know. Are you Sean?
Don't kill the messenger.
It's more fun this way.
I just heard that you might be a hermaphrodite, which I'm excited about because I want to see it.
You know, we make fun of things we don't understand, but wouldn't having both sexual organs be a huge benefit?
I think so. I'd be thrilled. I'd be amazing.
I mean, we only know what we know, and I know I like being a guy. I also know what I like doing because I'm a guy. And if I had both parts,
it's a whole new world. Well, you'll talk to Sean about it. He'll tell you all about it.
I don't think he is. I don't think he's a hermaphrodite. And if he was, I wouldn't care. I'd still hang out with him. He's a great guy.
I'd hang out with him more.
Yeah, you would too. Especially if you guys went swimming. You'd be like, hey, want to hang out and go swimming in tight shorts?
Let's play some underwater games. You close your eyes and Marco Polo.
Imagine wondering if your buddy's a hermaphrodite and you've been trying to get him to show his gear for years, and you're like, so Sean, you want to go swimming? And
go camping
in these really tight shorts.
Want to go up to Algonquin for the weekend?
Yeah. Hey, you want to make plastic casts of our bodies naked today? Want to do that? Hey, Sean, you want to go get team physical? Sean?
Want to get drunk and get naked and not have sex? Just look at each other.
Hey, Sean.
And laugh.
Sean, put on this paper gown and hang on to this kerosene.
Hey, Sean, get naked and climb on the wing of a plane. See what's going on.
Hey, Sean, go hump that jet. Go hump that plane.
Hey, Sean, want to go to Vegas? All drinks on me.
Go fuck the plane.
I'm buying everything.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate you. I had Dangerous Darren's podcast, DeanBlundell.com, where we get your fine podcasts, as well as Dangerous Darren. Anywhere you just type in Dangerous and Darren with an I, really.
Actually, the Dangerous Darren show.
Okay.
Show.
Why didn't you just put that up?
Well, there you go.
All right.
Dangerous Darren show.
Thanks, buddy.
My socials.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Ready to go. You know what that is? Really quick before I go. This is a chocolate Stanley Cup that I purchased in Canada.
Oh, did you? Eat it.
Coupe Stanley.
I don't understand why people buy food and don't eat it. Save that food for.
Because the Kings won the cup. I was talking
about it. It's gonna go bad. It's gonna break. Why don't you just eat it?
I'm not gonna eat it. I'm just saving it.
To eat it?
I'm probably not.
Thanks to our friends at Owners Box Fantasy Sports. Right now, $500 gets you another $500. That's how they do it when you go and sign up for Owners Box Sports. Right now, great meeting with them yesterday too. They're doing this little Christmas holiday special, little Christmas sale, little user Christmas sale. What they want to do is they want you to come into their universe. And when you come into their universe, you get to play as much fantasy as you want. It never stops. It's like a never-ending carousel of fantasy. You can keep doing. Their lobby is packed with fantasy contests that are never ending. It never stops. And I'm not joking. This isn't a joke. I'm not going, oh, it's never ending. No, it literally, you can go in there if you want that jack of new fun, that jack of new business. All you have to do is go in and join one of these contests. They got 2-man, 4-man, 8-man, 16-man. Go to Owners Box Fantasy Sports by going to ownersbox.com or go to deanblundell.com. But right now, when you sign up, which is free, and you want to play for dough and you put in $500, they'll match that with another $500 bonus. So $1,000 is what you start with when you put in 500. You put in 300, they'll put in 300. You put in 400, they'll put in 400, up to $500. It's a great deal. Go do it today. Owners Box Fantasy Sports, premier weekly fantasy sports from the guys who invented it. Owners Box. Blue Microphones, the official microphone of deanblundell.com. This week, we're going to announce the winner of the Show Us Your Pod contest. Did you know that, Sean? I found that out yesterday, and we've been doing this contest. But our friends at Blue are going to reward someone one lucky podcast. And I know who the winner is. I know who it is. With this Blue Yeti mic, we're also going to give them a set of these beautiful blue headphones and mic arm, Compass mic arm. It's a boom mic arm. Correct me if I'm wrong, Darren. Is it a boom mic arm or a mic arm boom?
Boom mic arm.
Boom mic arm. A Compass boom mic arm. That's what I've been saying, right, Sean? In some capacity?
Yeah, you put the adjective in front of the noun.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
This is in French.
Thanks, buddy. I didn't know.
Arm de boom.
Get some hot grammar tips.
Arm de boom.
So thanks. We're going to pick that person tomorrow, and that person's going to win, or that podcast is going to win all of our gear. They're going to win everything. They're going to win all of our stuff, courtesy of our friends at Blue Microphones. And they're going to join the deanblundell.com podcast network as well. And we're going to give them their very first sponsor, and everybody's going to be happy. And there you go. That's how you do something. Blue Microphones, the official microphone of deanblundell.com. And our friend Ed, it's Christmas time. Ed'll send any man you want, Gitch. Anybody. Got a boyfriend, husband, dad. They like boxer briefs with a pouch in the front, so you can wrangle your nutsack and your fella, and you can nicely set it into this little separated pouch, which sits in your actual underwear. And all you got to do is go to edsfineimports.com. He's got Gitch. Gitch3 is your promo code. When you type it in, when you're buying 3 pairs of Gitch, you get the 4th one for free. That's your promo code. Gitch, then the number 3. Gitch.
What about, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
What about the hermaphrodite underwear?
Well, you got both. So it doesn't matter. Just
something to cup the
it's just called underwear. It's just called underwear. I don't think women's underpants would work for a hermaphrodite, but these would, because they got both.
They got, a lot of stuff to take care of.
That pouch is lined too. It's got a nice little soft, almost like a cashmere lining.
Wow.
I don't know if it's cashmere, but it feels.
Does it have its own Wi-Fi? I mean, it seems awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It has its own Wi-Fi and everything.
What's your crotch Wi-Fi? You're at a restaurant. Your underwear. What's the Wi-Fi code?
Yeah. You're already connected. Just your balls know. Gitch3 is your promo code. Go to edsfineimports.com. Order some Gitch for that man in your life today, or whatever you identify as. I don't want to get in the way between you and common sense, Darren. Sean, for sure. Whatever you do is your business, buddy. I'm good. You can go rock and roll with all that gear you got down there, and I'm just happy to know you. I don't care.
You want to be called a cat? You're a cat. Congratulations.
Yeah. I don't want to make your life harder. I want to make your life easier. So without further ado, I guess it's time to announce Sean's a hermaphrodite. Sean, I had no idea.
I knew for weeks.
You turn your mic on.
I
should probably defend myself here. This is getting a little outrageous, but yeah, I'll take it.
And before we go, Sean, I would like for you to text me when the show's over. Just text me, say hello. Send me a picture of yourself.
Hey, Sean, you want to send me a picture of you in a shirt that I send you? Just a shirt?
Dean, you want to see a picture of the dick pic I send people?
No, I don't. It's Trump,
really
isn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's Dick Pull. Used to
Real
play for the
guy.
Red Sox. Yeah, I know.
Real guy named Richard Pohl.
You sent that to me before, actually. I think you just sent it to me for fun. Not even like for a joke. You're like, hey, get a load of this. Dick Pull in the major leagues. Anyway, that's it for us. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Tomorrow, Lachlan Cross is back on the program. Our boy Locker from Cruise FM in Edmonton. We're going to talk about how Alberta's COVIDing. You like that?
I was losing their minds.
And everybody is. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. We'll see you soon. Bye. Yeah, that bitch up. What's wrong with the guy falling down?